If you are somebody who likes to send voice notes, please don't make it too long. I ain't trying to listen to a podcast. What is going on, everybody? My name is Landon Moss, and welcome back for another Am I the Wicked Way? I'm sorry. Intrusive thoughts are whooping my ass right now. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me for another Am I the A-hole? With all that being said, let's get into it. All right, so this is from mission_P_03. I, 22 female, have a complicated relationship with my former, bold letter, former best friend, 22 female from high school. Long story short, I, at least, did not see us as best friends or even really friends at all. Well, damn. For the past 5 to 6 years and in the beginning of this year, I had considerations of formally breaking up with her. Do people like break up with friends? I always thought that you kind of just drifted away and it was like a common understanding.
You are made of stupid.
You know, if it's a best friend, then there has to be more communication in terms of like where the relationship stands versus like colleagues and all that stuff. But this summer, she told me that she will start studying at the university I am at this fall. Oh, you gotta give it all back now. Hey, you gotta give it all back. Now, I have been nice and even offered her help in understanding some organizational stuff, but now comes the issue. Now the fun begins. My uni does a freshers week for the upcoming students, preparing info events and fun activities. She told me that we could meet up in between, or that I could join, or that she can come over to my place. The only thing I offered was that I could show her some confusing parts of uni and the city in between events, and asked that she please write me when she plans to be in the city, so I could see if I had time or to just generally plan something. Mr. P, you might be lying. You might be twisting the story a little bit. As a person who is a people pleaser, the situation sounds a little familiar. You know what I'm saying? Someone says something, you know in your heart you don't want to be around them, you don't want to do something, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. So you go above and beyond, you spend all day, now you're resenting the person, when really you should have been the one that been like, hey, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like being around you, but the people pleaser in you says it's okay. I know exactly how that goes. She unfortunately loves to primarily communicate with audio messages that are at least, again, all bold, at least 3 minutes long and usually go for 8 minutes or longer. Hey, look, former best friend, look, hey, come on now. Now, if you have 8 minutes of something to tell me, call me. What are we doing? I'm not about to sit here and listen to... Again, if you have 8 minutes worth of something to talk about, 1, call me, or 2, there's no 2, just call me. I had worded my message specifically that she should write me or text me of the dates and times so that I can plan. She didn't do that, but just recorded another 4-minute audio message yesterday in which she talks about her plans of attending different events, with some occasional rambles and talking to her barking dog. I'm just saying, look, I love dogs. Don't send me no damn 8-minute long audio message talking to your dog in the background. Get to the point and then get out. By the end of it, I couldn't remember any of her plans. See, boom, I know it. That's exactly how it goes. But I am also not invested/interested enough in this friendship to take notes of her audio messages just to figure out when we could have an awkward and uncomfortable hangout session. Now, when I read that, it makes me wonder, I know that's how she feels, but I wonder, does the friend also feel that same way? You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like sometimes we'll feel a certain way, but we'll internalize it and we don't always verbalize it. We don't always put oxygen on it. Now, where I see me being at is, 1, I could just write her another message to please write her plans out so I can plan accordingly. But also, 2, not confronting her about not feeling like friends anymore. Boom, that is what we call growth. But I am curious how other people feel about the whole thing of sending long audio messages when asked to write something in text. Sorry for the long rambly post. I have never posted anything before and don't know how much context info people want for these kind of am I the a-holes. I mean, damn, you could have just recorded that. We ain't have to see all that text. Would you rather read a long text or listen to a long message? You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you know what? Y'all comment that down below. Would you rather listen to a long audio message or read a long written text? Let me know. Hey, you know what? Let me shut up before I get myself in trouble. Y'all about to get me in trouble, man. Oh, wait, hold on. Ooh, we have an update.
Dame un gar, un kwe, dame un gar,
First of all, I did not break up with my friend. Oh, I'm telling you, I know people pleasers. We have all these things that we're gonna say or we're gonna do in our head. Like, you know what? I'm gonna stand up for myself. I'm gonna say this because that ain't right. And then you get there and you see the person and you're like, hey, good to see you, man. Yeah, no, I feel fine. I don't feel no type of way about nothing, man. I'm excited that we are best friends. You and I, best friends. We are best friends. Best friends. Some people pointed out that my post reeks of disdain for her. And while I don't disagree, I also know that I get in my head and focus on negative memories and feelings and get quite dramatic about some stuff. I now know that I wasn't in a good headspace and shouldn't have written that post in that state. Do you know how hard it is to like really sit back and look at yourself and be like, hey, maybe I am the problem right now. Like maybe I'm tripping. That takes a lot of self-awareness to be like, hey, maybe I'm tripping. Now, to the actual update. After reading through the comments, I listened to her audio message again with the intent to hear what her plan was. But she didn't actually say any times, so I sent her a message politely asking her for a text message of the times she plans to go because I couldn't picture it from just the audio message. That was a long sentence. She complied and sent me a text message with the time she wanted to go and asked if we can meet before one event and if I want to join that event afterwards as well. Instead of dancing around the question like I probably would have done 4 years ago, or when you first posted this, I was very clear that we can meet before the event for a campus tour, but that I had no interest in the event afterwards. Okay, you standing on business. All right, okay, Mission P, look at you. I mean, like you tiptoeing on business, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just saw it, I'm wearing my shoe. Okay, ignore that, stop. Shut up. We met the following day and I gave her the tour. Just telling her stuff about the uni that the staff doesn't really tell you and showing her the confusing off-campus buildings. This sounds like the rekindling of a friendship, you know what I mean? Almost like the rom-com, like the girl and her best friend who were like separate, you know, she falls in love with the guy and then her and her best friend like reconvene, they become best friends again, they open a bakery in the small town, and I am just making stuff up. I need to go watch a Christmas movie. She said / did some small things I didn't like, but I'm trying to not blow these things out of proportion. Again, great self-awareness. We just kind of caught up generally. She asked about my dog that died last winter, which didn't feel great to talk about in a public space, but I know that I could have said that I don't want to talk about it. That is on me. I will say, because my first ever dog passed away, it's crazy. Like it's crazy how fast time is flying. I think it might have been 3 or 4 years ago. And I just remember, man, it is some of the worst pain. Like when you lose a dog, man, it is, that is like losing a family member. But I will say, I do think it is nice sometimes to talk about it. It's nice to hear how other people saw your dog. You know, like it's always nice to hear like the memories of, you know, your baby, your dog. I 100%, I get what she's saying. You don't want to bring it up, but I know sometimes it is also nice just to, you know, reflect on the good times. And talked about the other friends of our old friend group and what they're up to. Now, if I want to be completely honest to Reddit, why would you lie? I can tell you that I did lie to her. I guess you did lie. That I have to go at a specific time because I'm hanging out with a friend. Technically a lie because there were no pre-made plans with my friend to hang out, but we usually hang out around that time. Look, hey, you ain't got to lie to us. We on Reddit reading this. I guess I'm on YouTube now reading this, but the point is, you don't have to lie to us. We get it. You ain't want to hang out with her. You said you had something to do. We have all done it. And we did hang out on that day when I got home. Might sound awful to some, but it was honestly an improvement of my behavior compared to 4 years ago, where I would lie about some obligation and that if I hadn't had that, I would have loved to stay. Mission P, I'm not gonna lie, you're kind of doing the same thing. But I will say the self-awareness is a huge thing. So the fact that you're even able to acknowledge it, pat on your back. So yeah, I am but I am getting better at actually saying what I don't want / like. Actually, thank you to everyone that commented and explained their view of why my behavior is because I think it fueled me to be better. And again, this might be because I relate to this person so much. I don't think that makes you a person. I think sometimes we have an older version of ourselves, right? Like things that we allowed, things that made us uncomfortable, but for the sake of others, we wouldn't speak up on. It doesn't feel good, you know what I'm saying? Because you know that you're lying, you know you don't want to be around this person, but you don't want to be mean. To me, honestly, I think that you are being mean to yourself. I think you have to put yourself as a priority. You know what I mean? Your wants, your likes are very much valid. Mission P, I know you're probably not watching this, but there are plenty other people who know exactly how you feel. And I want to say that I don't think this type of behavior makes you a person. Now, what I think is that it's past behaviors conflicting with current beliefs. When I say that, I mean like there are things that you might have outgrown, things that you don't necessarily align with anymore, and sometimes those things are things that an older version of you accepted and allowed. It feels real shitty when you start to make that transition. You know, because you gotta like disappoint some people and you don't wanna be mean, you don't wanna be disliked. But the thing is, that is okay. It is okay to prioritize yourself, your wants, your likes, and your needs. You cannot make everybody happy. It is literally impossible. Trust me, I have tried. So, are you the a-hole? No, I don't think you're the a-hole. I don't think your friend is the a-hole. I think you just a people pleaser. And I know exactly what you're feeling. So once again, you have to prioritize your likes, your wants, your needs, you know? All right, folks, that is all that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me once again for another video. And as always, until next time, I will see you later.